Good afternoon. Welcome all of our students to join this briefing session for all the collaborative course agreement programs. So I'm Louisa Lau, the registrar of the Hong Kong Institute of Chartered Secretaries. And on this side is Melanie, the senior manager of membership. And that today we will have a sharing so we'll wait for the PPT. Today's program is that we will have a brief update on the Institute's development, as you may all receive our notice that the Institute has changed its name, and that we will talk about the route to membership. And for this, we will give more details on the full exemptions, applications, procedures, requirements, as well as how to apply for your election to associateship. And then we will have some updates on the forthcoming activities, and we look forward to seeing you in the future. And finally, we'll have some time for the Q&A. So let's start with the update on the Institute development. As you may all aware that the Institute we offer the first class qualifying program, and then today's is we call the CGQP, and then we award the internationally recognized qualifications, both the Chartered Secretary as well as the Chartered Governance Professional qualification. And our membership is recognized by a number of the regulators in Hong Kong, and that most important of all first is the listing rules that our members is one of the qualified professional qualifications to be employed as the company secretary of the listed companies. And that about the CGQP, our new Chartered Governance Qualifying Program, it was first launched in last year, and that into January. And the syllabus has been updated and expanded to include, which today's is very important in risk management, as well as a very new module called the boardroom dynamics. And that this all reflects the knowledge and skill set that required by all the governance professionals. And then we are gearing more on the compliance, risk, and as well as governance. And the Institute has awarded the dual qualification, as already mentioned, the Chartered Secretary, as well as the Chartered Governance Professional. So if you become a member, then you have the international body as well as the the Hong Kong body membership, and then you've got both of these qualifications. From the evolving of the roles of company secretaries in the older days, which usually they would say that the company secretaries handle a lot of the administrative work, and most of this is still a form of compliance, but more on the form filling tasks, writing minutes, as very static work and at the back end. But these days, we have to be seen as the trust governance advisors. We are the advisors to the board, and then we advise on the governance structure system and how to ensure that it's run as it is, and to give advice to the board as well as the directors individually. For the past 10 years, the membership growth is quite significant. And now at the end of this financial year, we already have 6,692 members plus graduates. So the growth is gradual. And whereas our studentship is also in the growth, because only we have students and they move up to graduates, and then we have the membership growth. So we are maintaining like a 3,000 plus annually. For the membership profile, we see that our profession, our members work in diverse areas, mostly in company secretarial, in listed companies, or in the corporate firms. And then we have the lawyers, accountants, and then we have the compliance officers or the governance officers. So all these are our competence areas of the profession. And they work also in areas such as the listed companies or the professional firms. So these are reflecting of what our members do. And so this leads to a very important area, is that, as you know, if you have been a student or that you've been in the profession for some time, you know that formally we call the ICSA. But in 2019, the international body has changed its name as the Chartered Governance Institute. And for the reasons to change is that we want to make sure that both the institute and our membership is reflecting what we are doing. And so you can see from the international bodies, including the head office of the Chartered Governance Institute, as well as in other divisions like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, or Malaysia, or Southern Africa, they all changed the name relating to governance. And whereas in Hong Kong, our institute names is also changed from the Hong Kong Institute of Chartered Secretaries to the Hong Kong Chartered Governance Institute. We just convened and resolved by our members at the general meeting to approve the change of the name. But the final notice will be waiting for the final approval of the registrar of the companies to approve our new name. So stay tuned, and then we will keep you informed of when to change the name and also how to use your postnominals. About the history of the Institute, this is also about our development of the profession, where we talk about back in where we have the records back in 1949, we have about 20 companies, charter secretaries in Hong Kong, and they meet regularly every month to discuss and share about the new rules or changes about the work. And then with the Times Group in 1994, we have reached the number of 3,000 members. And then we've got a local status as well, and we register as with the Hong Kong Institute of Company Secretaries, HKICS. This is our former name, which we use company secretaries as the flagship to promote our qualification. And then to 2005, where we've conformed with the international strategies, we standardize our name. So we all use the charter secretaries, and we change our name as well. The Hong Kong Institute of Charter Secretaries, HKICS to HKICS, and that we became the China division of CGI. So we not just operate in Hong Kong, we also encompassing the China as well as Taiwan and Macau. And as just said, on July 15th, with the approval of the members at the general meeting, we will have a new name very soon, the Hong Kong Chartered Governance Institute. And then we use 香港公司治理工会 as our Chinese name. With all these changes, we will have the benefits with the new name is that it will help the institute as well as our members to build a new identity, where to reflect that we are governance professionals, and that it is better to position our roles in governance, and that this will cement our leadership in governance, as the institute has regularly produce a lot of the guidance notes as well as research reports in these governance areas. And all these CPD seminars or the workshops or our conferences also is leading to this role. With the change of the names, it will elevate our member status as the expert, and then it will have a good positioning as the expert in governance. And it also reinforced the institute's association with governance. And all these will bring the benefits to enhance our members' careers prospect. And so we do not just limit our members as in the past always said, oh, we are the company secretaries of certain companies, listed companies, or in the professional firms or the services company, but we also can stretch out to different arenas in compliance, risk management. And that all these is an alignment, and it gives a synergy force, which with the change of the name with other divisions, as well as our mother body, the CGI. So with the CGI, now you will call yourself either or later that when you become a graduate, you are the grad CG, and then you are the associate of the CGI, then ACG, or a fellow of the CGI, FCG. Also, with this, it will have a parallel designation, the post-nominals for the Hong Kong body. We will inform you as soon as we have the date fixed with the name change and everything's in alignment. Then just stay tuned for the new changes of the institute, because this is very important for you to be an ambassadors of the institute, to tell your company, to tell your business associates or the relevant people that with your new identity as a member of the HKCGI as well as the CGI, and that what are your competence area. So we are working together so that we build up our professional image and that the status. So if you want to know more about careers in governance, visit our website. We have more than 20 interviews and photographies with members from different sectors, and that all these articles are very interesting. So I will advise you to take some time to read. Okay, now with the development of the institute, I think most important you need to remember is we will have a new name very soon, and stay tuned with it and with your future post-nominals. About the route to CGI and HKCGI membership, you already have stepped on the first stage. You are the student of the institute, and then very soon you with your application for the full exemption approved, and then you will become a graduate very soon, because through the your master programs, which is under the agreement with the respective universities, you are eligible to apply for full exemptions. And then once you get this approved, then we will inform you, you can be a graduate, and with the settlement of certain fees, then you will become a graduate. Once you are a graduate, then you can apply for either associateship or fellowship. And all these depends on your relevant working experience and your stature in the profession, that is your seniority. So let's move into more details. Again, you will very soon become a member of both CGI, the international body, as well as the Hong Kong body, HKCGI. And this CGI qualification is portable. That is, you can transfer your membership to other divisions. If you are you are transferred from your company to work overseas, such as in the UK, Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, these are very popular places. Or that you may want to do something else, that you can transfer your CGI with you when you are domiciled here. That is, you have your permanent residence there or for a longer time. But the HKCGI is not transferable. It will just stay in Hong Kong only. So for the application of a full exemption, first of all, you must settle any outstanding studentship, that is the current year studentship fees. You must settle it. That means you paid for it. And then you must maintain your studentship while you are studying your master program and then for at least 1.5 years. If you think that, oh, I'm going to graduate and that I'm not going to pay, then you can't apply for this, and that you may need to stay for a longer time. And also that you need to have a very good successful pass, and that you will have to complete your program within the period that is stated by your graduation requirements. That is, we have a field program with different period, the durations of the program. And certain students may be that you have been registered with us, but then you don't pay for your studentship fees, and then you now want to apply for full exemptions, that you will need to re-register. But once you re-register, you will have to stay for another 1.5 years. So we always remind these collaborative course students, maintain your studentship during your study. Don't forget that you need to be a student of the HKICS before you can apply for your exemptions. So all this is that we need to remind you, and that I know that most graduates from these master programs, they will apply for exemptions ASAP. But sometimes people may, oh, I still have to think. But when you think, make sure that you apply your full exemption within 6 months after your graduation. That is your official award of the master's certificate. And so I understand that today we have all 4 universities graduates joining this program. So I just remind you from this diagram is that different universities have a different time frame for the graduation requirements. So you have to check for yourself. And that I know sometimes is that students will think that, oh, I will just crash gate, I study more, I put this part-time mode to almost like a full-time mode, and then I just finish within a year. For example, the Hong Kong BU or the OUHK studies that they have the 1.5 years, but still you have to wait for that 1.5 years fully completed before you can apply for our full exemptions if your studentship is not fulfilling that 1.5 years. So sometimes why we want you to stay for that year, because we want our students to get more familiar with the institute. You receive adequate information from the institute before you turn to a graduate, because as I've said before, once you become a graduate, a member, you are also, this is your, this institute is your institute, and that you have to help to be as an ambassadors to help to promote the institute, promote our competence. So we want you to know more about your institute. So if you have any problems, just contact the secretary to ask about your individual situations. And there are this slide is a little bit complicated, but in essence, what I want to remind today's participants is that for a lot of these deadlines is that we want you to do it before any of the deadline. Don't apply late, because I think after you spend a lot of time of your study, and then you want to have that double benefits to get the master degree as well as the full exemptions of the institute. So once you have this confirm your graduation and with your official transcript of your results, then you just act fast. And then we will also try to respond to you within a reasonable time. So for all the full exemptions applications, if you applied it 6 months just after your graduation, it's fine. We give you sufficient time. But any delay, you will have to pay additional administrative charges. And these administrative charges is every 6 months, you have to get a multiplier. We don't want this money. The institute does not want this money. We just want you to comply and conform with these requirements. And then if you apply this after this 24 months, your full exemptions may be forfeited because it's outdated, and then we will not allow full exemptions. And so do it fast. Don't be delayed. And with your full exemption application, first of all, we now all did it online. You just do it anytime with your computer and with your documents, soft file in hand, then you just do it online. So we need you to provide the supporting documents. Most important is your transcript. And then if you have any reasons like a delay or something irregular, like you need more time to complete your study, then you need to have an explanation letter also submitted via online. And your transcript needs to be certified as a true copy. And then with the award, the conferment of your degree on your transcript. That is what we call the official transcript. And then you have to pay for your each of the subject free. When you do, in particular, I just want to remind all our CCA students, we also need you to check. We have a few of those checkboxes, and then you need to check very carefully, like the duration of your study, and that also have you attempt one attempt or second attempt or more than one attempt of your results. We will check all these in detail. So when you go through the online, just we will have enough sufficient guidelines to guide you to complete the form. So just log in the login area, and then key in your registered email and password. And then we will send you a code via email, so that this is a double security. So I think we are quite used to this double security. And then when you put in your code, then you click into the model exemption application. And so when you read these details, then you go to the apply CCA full exemption. So with your full CCA exemption, so you will make sure that you have your certificate or your official transcript ready, certified, and then you read all the important notes, and then you start to provide the information. And then after your application, we will send you an acknowledgement email, and so you will have the emails with the institute. So for all these notes, I'm not going to read in details, but most you need to just set previously. First of all, you have to pay for this current year. That is, if you are still outstanding, you have to pay your current year's renewal fees. You complete the form online, and then have all the certificates or your transcript with the certified true copies. And then if you have, after you walk through all the online materials, if you are just a very clean one within the period 1.5 years fulfilled as registered students, and then we'll send you the payment notice, and then you settle the payment, and then you will have the exemptions completed. But if there are any of the irregular cases, like I need a longer time or otherwise, that you will receive an email that the secretary will contact you, because we need to check further. So don't panic if you receive anything, but we just want to check further. I think all of you are quite familiar with the certification of supporting documents. Either that you comes to the HK, I said our office, the secretariat will do the certified true copies for you, but still you have to do it online. We will not receive hard copies anymore. And then, or that if you know any of the members of the CGI or HKCGI, or qualified lawyers or qualified accountants, or the district office to do the certified true copies, or that some of our mainland students, you can approach your HR departments to do the direct supervisor to do the certification. But if you are using this approach, they need to complete a certified consent form. So we may contact them for clarification. So once we receive your applications, we'll take about 10 working days to do all the assessment and approval. And once your full exemption is approved, and then you have paid up all the exemption fees, then you will receive a confirmation email from us, and that as well as that you will receive a debit note of the graduate advancement fees. That is, you will advance from studentship to graduateship, and then your graduateship will be confirmed once this graduate advancement fee is settled. And then we will inform you that you are eligible to use the post-nominal of grad CG, but you are not yet a member. And so this is interim status. And then you can go for the, with this grad CG, then you can prepare for your associateship application. And with this, I will pass the mic to Melanie, and then she will tell you how to apply for your associateship.
Thank you, Louisa. So I think Louisa have already given all the details related to the Institute's recent development, as well as what are you going to do to apply for the full exemption. So what I will going to discuss, which I think most of you will be more really interested in, is how to become our associate. So you can see that there are like 3 criteria in order to become our associate. So first of all, you have to complete the CGQP by applying the full exemption, and then you will become a graduate. Like what Louisa just mentioned, you have to pay the graduate advancement fee, as well as maybe the student renewal fee. So after you become a graduate, you also have to obtain at least 6 years of relevant working experience. You don't have to worry, because we will consider when you start your full employment or the full employment history, we will consider whether you fulfill this requirement. And also, like other professional qualification, we also require our applicants must be a fit and proper person. So this, I think you will have already give you some update. You have to apply for full exemption, pay the graduate advancement fee, and then you can become our institute's graduate. So regarding the 6 years of relevant working experience, so many of you may be really interested how we regard relevant working experience. So we said that we need 6 years of relevant working experience, but if you previously have complete a full-time recognized degree, whether it is bachelor or master degree, you may be eligible for a reduction of the relevant working experience. So here's how we count the reduction. So if you have completed a 3-year program, bachelor program, full-time, a recognized degree, you will be granted a 3-year reduction out of the 6 years of relevant working experience. So like taking myself as an example, I complete an associate degree for 2 years, and then I directly study a full-time bachelor degree starting from year 2. So I actually only have 2-year full-time degree program. We will not count your associate degree. We only count the bachelor or above degree if you study full-time. So how many years of reduction I will get? I will only get 2 years of reduction. So 6 times 2, and then I will need another 4 years of relevant working experience. So when we said relevant, there is a wide range of relevant. Of course, company secretarial, accounting, financial management. If you're working in the legal, governance, compliance, or even risk management, you will also be counted as a relevant working experience. But we usually will rely on your job title to see whether it is relevant. But if your title, we will say if it's more neutral, for example, if you work in a private company as an administrator, you may need to provide further details by submit a supplementary form in supporting your application. We will go to this further in the following slides. So when we said that be a fit and proper person, so our institute require all our members, graduate and students to observe the high standard of professional conduct and ethic behaviors. So how can you prove that you are a fit and proper person? There are 2 steps. One is in the application form, you have to make the self-declaration of character and standing. The other one is you have to obtain 2 recommendations from 2 referees, of which one must be a member of the institute or a CGI who knows you for at least 1 year. The other referee you can, of course, can be our members or a qualified accountant or lawyers. So these 2 referees must be a holder of professional qualification, with one of them must be our institute member. So when you apply for the association, what do you need to submit? I will go through one by one in the following slide. So first of all, of course, you have to complete the application form. In the application form, you have to provide your personal particulars, your details of the full employment history. You have to declare your own character and standing, of course, your education and professional qualifications, and the recommendation made by 2 referees. But if you have already submitted those education professional qualifications, when you register as a student, you don't need to resubmit it again. So what do you need about the full employment record? Of course, all of our supporting documents must be certified true copies. Even if you submit it online or by email, the supporting document must show that it's certified by some holder of professional qualifications. So about the full employment history, we need all your employment record since you complete or you graduate from your full-time study. If you have your work testimonial or reference letter issued by your previous employer, you can simply give us a certified copy of those reference letters. Or you can ask your current or former employers to sign directly on the form to certify your employment. So either one, you don't have to do both. If you have the certified true copy of your reference letter, you can give it to us as a proof of your employment record. Or you can either ask your employer or supervisor to sign on the form so that you don't need to give us the reference letter. So about academic and professional qualification, again, we need the certified true copy of your transcript or certificates of your academic or professional qualification. If you already gave us when you register as a student, you have no need to give us again. Okay, so about supplementary form, not every one of you have to submit this. Like I said, if you your job title sounds more a bit neutral, for example, you are assistant to senior management or you are executive officer in an education institute, we cannot really tell how relevant is your job to our profession. So you need to fill in this supplementary form and have to be endorsed by your supervisor so that we know about your work allocation and to see how relevant is your job to our profession. This form, of course, can be downloaded in the website. And please be reminded that this form has to be signed by your supervisor and you because it is an agreement between you both. Besides, if some of you may have some gaps between employments, for example, you may take a year gap to have a full-time study. So if you have a 3 months or longer gap between employments, you also have to complete this form so that you can tell the institute what's the gap about. But this form is only need to sign by you, so you don't have to ask anyone to certify that for you. And for information, all the application have to be reviewed by Secretariat and then approved by the membership committee on a quarterly basis. So you can see there are remaining 2 deadlines during this year. One is next Friday. So you may want to watch out these deadlines because you have to submit everything in order before this deadline so that your application can be considered by the following membership committee meeting stated below. Some of the important notes about the application for associateship. So, of course, application can only be made if you receive our notification informing you have completed the institute's qualifying program. And of course, you have to settle the graduate advancement fee, or some of you may have to pay the annual subscription. Before your application, all applicants have to read the notes attached to the application form carefully and ensure that you have sufficient relevant working experience. But of course, you're always welcome to contact us to see whether you have accumulated sufficient relevant working experience. And on the application form, please make sure that all parts have to be duly complete, signed, and dated. And if you ask someone to sign on the form, especially as your referee of your work, of your employment record and the recommendation part, this date must not more than 3 months prior to the date of submission. For example, today is 21st of July. So if you submit your application today, for example, the signature must not be dated before 21st of April. Yeah. And of course, all the certified true copies and originally signed document must be provided together with your application. So again, the COVID still affecting our life, although the situation seems more stable nowadays. But if you do not want to submit your application in person, you can either choose to submit all the documents and the completed form by post or courier, or even email us. But again, if you decide to send your application through email, all the forms have to be complete, signed, and certified, especially the supporting document. If you scan your original document to us, we cannot see from the scanned copy that there are some kind of certified chops. So make sure that when you scan the supporting document to us, we can see that those supporting documents are certified by someone with professional qualification. So here's again some estimated timelines. So I think some of you have already received the official transcript issued by your institute. So if you have already got the conferment of your master degrees, you may say next month apply for the full exemption, and probably maybe by the end of August or September, you will get the full exemption and admitted to the institute's graduation. And then you can see that the following deadline for applying associateship will be in October, so that you can monitor all those dates for your reference. But of course, this is for reference only, and it is really subject to whether you have submitted all the relevant information to for the associateship application. And if you missed the deadline this year, no worries. We have 4 deadlines every year. So the following, the deadline for the next year, probably in late January. So it is for your reference only, and all the details can be found in the institute's website. Okay, so becoming, of course, as our student, you don't have to fulfill any CPD requirements, but the institute introduced the mandatory CPD requirements to all graduates and members. So if you become our graduate this year or later as a member, you need to comply with the institute's CPD requirements from the next financial year, that is from the 1st of July 2022, that is next year. So all graduates and members have to accumulate 15 CPD hours per financial year. But there are lots of CPD courses and webinars offered by the institute. So you have to watch out whether you have fulfilled these 15 CPD points, including 3 hours must be accumulated from the institute's enhanced CPD seminars. So when we say the eCPD seminars, it is more related to the technical and compliance area, so that you have to monitor whether you have fulfilled such requirement. So all the information can be found in the Institute website. If you would like to know more about your studentship or apply for full exemption, you can visit the studentship section and the Institute website. And of course, if you want to know more about the membership related matters, you can visit the membership section. So just one thing to remind everyone, because as Louisa mentioned, the Institute has just changed the name to the Hong Kong Chartered Governance Institute, only subject to the CR's approval. So the Institute actually kicks off a rebranding project and also a website revamp project. So in the following months, we will work really closely with our agency so that we can build up our new identity with the new image, new logo, and the new website. So make sure that you check our website or emails regularly so that you will know about the rebranding as well as the website revamp progress. So here's some of the forthcoming events that we want you to know more about that. So we have some, since the outbreak of the pandemic, we regularly offer some free webinars for our members so that they can learn more about to enhance their well-being or to have some kind of knowledge. So here's the upcoming events. There is 2 webinars and also 1 community service about soup recycling. For the soup recycling, it is not a webinar, it is the physical event. So we look forward to have more volunteers to join us. Apart from those 3 events, you can also visit the Institute's website, the event section, so that you can know more about our upcoming events. And apart from the webinars, we used to arrange lots of other activities like the student gatherings, the mentorship program, as well as community service, online interest group, and annual convocation. We really hope the pandemic dies down gradually, and so that we can resume all our physical activities, and so that we can meet each other like face-to-face, so that we can have more interaction. So if you would like to know more, follow us in these various social media platforms. And of course, if you have any inquiry, welcome to email us or call us. If you are stationed in the mainland, or you are also welcome to contact our Beijing office for assistance.